So let us start a fresh problem today. So this will be the last problem for the unit 3, that is flexibility method of analysis. Okay. So please take down the problem. Analyze the frame using flexibility method. Okay, that's all. That is what it is given, and EI equals to constant. Okay, EI is constant. Okay, so let us let us see how the structure is. So this is the structure. This end is fixed. This end is also fixed. Okay, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and here we have a point load of magnitude 20 tons, 20 tons, and from here to here the distance is 6 meters, and the total distance from here to here it is 10 meters. Okay, and this distance is 4 meters, and this gap over here, this one, okay, this gap over here is 2 meters. Okay, and we have another point load of magnitude 6 tons here, and this one is 2i, this is 3i, this is how much is this one? This is I. This is I. Let us say this is figure 1. Okay. This is the figure 1. Okay. So in order to do the analysis using the flexibility method, so what we need to do, so here, see, here we are not, so let us not assume the sway. Okay, without assuming sway, we will do this one. So the first step will be, what will be the step 1? Who can say? What is step 1?
Sir, indeterminates. Finding indeterminates. Degree of static indeterminacy.
Yes. Degree of static indeterminacy. Okay, so all of you know that here we will have one reaction. Here we will have one reaction. This one moment over here. This is one unknown reaction. This is another, and one more moment will be here. Okay, so if I say so, SI or SI. Let me write SI. Degree of static indeterminacy will be 3 plus 3 minus 3. So this 3 is for, let's say, this one unknown, this one plus this one, and it is smaller. Okay, so I hope you remember, or let us say it was E equals to, or SI no, SI equals to SI equals to R minus R, or E equals to R minus R. So the degree of indeterminacy, so hence, so here we can write, hence the degree of static indeterminacy is 0.03. Okay, so it means what? That yeah, three unknown reactions are there which can be taken as redundant. Okay, so let us draw the release structure. So let us say, so since the degree of static indeterminacy is 3, so let us say I take this one, the three reactions at node D or at joint D as redundant. Okay, so that I will write. So hence, let us consider the first one is horizontal reaction, the horizontal reaction, then the vertical reaction, the horizontal reaction, the vertical reaction, and third one is the moment, and the moment at joint D be redundant. Okay, so let us say that these reactions are redundant. Okay, so if we are considering these reactions are redundant, it means that we will release this joint, we are going to release joint D, right? So if we will or if we will release joint D, then what will be the structure look like? So if see, so we are saying that these reactions are unknown, and we are taking these, or we are interested to determine these reactions, and we are saying that we are releasing this joint D over here. Okay, so what will be the release structure? The release structure will be like this. Okay, so release structure means, so here we have removed the joint. Okay, and this one is 1, this is, let's say this is Q1. Okay, let us say this is Q1. So the horizontal force at this D is Q1, this is Q2, and the moment over here is Q3, not theta, this is Q. Okay, this is Q3. So, and the edges are A, B, C, and D. Let us say this is D. Okay, and one more thing I forgot to mention. So, here in the question, this is this is not a node. This is only the point at which the load is acting. Let us say this point is E. This point is E. Okay, so here in this structure also, this will be definitely E. So this one, let us say this is figure 2, and this is the released structure. Okay, that is the release structure. So now what we need to do, we need to analyze this released structure. Okay, so what will be step 2? Step 2 will be, who can say what will be the step 2? You can refer to your previous example. What is step 2?
Analysis of the released structure.
Analysis of the released structure. Okay. So before we go to the analysis of the release structure, let us talk about the equation, okay, or the force displacement relationship. So we all know that D minus DL equals to F into P. F into P. Okay, now what will be the order and what will be the order of these matrices? So this will be, so since the degree of static indeterminacy is 3, so it will be of size 3 cross 1, this will be of size 3 cross 1, this will be of size 3 cross 3, and again this will be of size 3 cross 1. Okay, so as I told earlier that since there is no settlement of support and all, this part we can consider it to be 0. Okay, and we have to determine this one, we have to determine the displacement matrix, we have to determine the flexibility matrix, and we have to determine the load matrix, okay, or load vector, you may, whatever you may want, you may call that one. Okay, so let us take the first one, or in order to find out the first one, what we need to do, we need to make a table. Okay, or before we go to the table, let us write down some points over here. Okay, so now this DL 1, okay, sorry, so this D1L, so or DL, it comprises of D1L, D2L, D3L. Okay, so as I said, it is of size 3 cross 1, so it is D1L, D2L, and D3L. Okay, now D1L is for, is the displacement corresponding to displacement corresponding, displacement corresponding to Q1. Okay, to Q1, this one. Okay, now similarly this is displacement corresponding to Q2, and this one is displacement corresponding to Q3. Q3 is the moment. Okay, so in order to determine this one, we need to know certain values. Okay, now what are those? Let us, the first one is M. Okay, so let M equals to the bending moment at any point in the member due to the externally applied loads. Externally applied loads. Similarly, M1. So due to this Q1, one moment will be generated. Okay. So that is bending moment at any point in the member due to Q1. Similarly, M2 equals to bending moment at any point in the member due to Q2. Okay. Similarly, M3 equals to again bending moment at any section or at any point in the member due to Q3. Okay, so now we have to determine this M1, M2 and M3 for this structure. Okay, so how we are going to do that? So what I will do, I will just uh, draw that figure over here. Okay. So here we have 6 tons, here we have 20 tons, and this point is released. So this length, it is given as 4 meters. This is 2 meters, and this one to this one, it is 10 meters. Okay, and this is 2i, this is 3i, this is I, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this point it is E. There is no hints like thing, but it is point given that point is E. Okay. So next thing is the table. Okay, from where we will have the relation between M1, M2 and M3. Okay, so first we will write the section. Okay, I will start from D. Okay, so let us say the first one is DC, then CE, then EB, then BA. Okay, this is the tabulation. This is the starting of the tabulation. Now, let us say the next one is origin. So for DC, let me take the origin at D. For CE, let us say it is C. For EB, it is E. For BA, it is B. Let us say origin at these joints or nodes, whatever you may call. Now the limit. Okay, so this is 0 to 4 meters, so 0 to 4. This is this length, it is 6 meters. Okay, so it is 0 to 6. Then it is again 0 to, this is, since it is 10 meters, this is 4 meters. So this is 0 to 4, and this one is again 0 to 6. Okay, since this length is 6 meters, this is 0 to 6. Now the next one is EI value. Okay, so as you can see the figure, for DC the value is 1, for EC or CE it is 3, for EB it is 3, for BA it is 2. Okay, next one is capital M. Okay, so capital M we have to find out with, so it is moment at any section due to the externally applied load. Okay, so in element DC or member DC or section DC, whatever you may call, let us take or let us assume that X varies in this direction. Okay, so X, it starts from here and it goes in this direction. Let us say X is here at this point. Okay, so the bending moment in this section or the bending moment at this point in this section will be 0 because here there is no applied loads in this member. So That's why M is 0 here. Now, let me erase this one and let us go to the other section. Okay, let us go to the other section. So here, let us say X starts from here. Okay, X is from this one. X is at this point. Okay, so again here, since in this section there is no applied load, again this will be, the moment will be 0 here, moment due to the externally applied load. Now if I take this member, so if I take member BE, okay, I am taking member BE and X is from this end to this end, then it will be 20 into the moment at this point due to this load will be 20 into X. Okay, so this will be 20 into X. Okay, now if I come to, member BA, if I come to member BA, let us take, I am considering X from this point till here, then the value will be, so please see the figure and write your own values. So it will be 6x plus 20 into 4. Okay, so 6 into this, 6 into x plus 20 into this one, this 4. Okay, so this becomes 6x plus 80. Okay, now the next part is we have to determine M1, small m1. So small m1 we will determine from this diagram. Okay, let us say here we have, this is the structure, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this point is E, that is not a node or anything. Okay, and here we are applying 1 kilonewton. Okay, since this is a force, let us say unit load method we are employing, so here 1 kilonewton I gave. Okay, so now let us take a segment here, taking x at x distance. The bending moment at this point will be 1 into x. Okay, so that will be 1 into x. Okay, similarly, if I take the bending moment at this section, okay, the bending moment at this section, then this distance we already know, this is 4 meters. Okay, so 4 into -1, and this one will be again in clockwise direction. Okay, so this will be 4 into -1. So similarly, if I take a section over here, then again it will be 4 into 1. Okay, sorry, 4 into -1. Okay, I'm removing this one. 4 into -1. Okay, next, if I take a section over here, I'm removing all other sections because it may create confusion and all. So this is E. So if I take a section here, then the moment equation will be 1 into 4 minus x. Okay. So this is about the M1. Now we need to apply the vertical load. Okay, this is D. So Q1 we applied. Now it is time for Q2. Let me change the ink. Let us say I am applying a vertical load of magnitude 1 kilonewton in this direction. Okay, so if I take a section over here, which color I should take? Yes. So if I take a section over here, that is x. Okay, so definitely this moment, this force is in line with that, in that direction. So the M2 will be for this section, for section DC will be definitely 0. Okay, now if I take a section over here, if I take a section over here, then sorry, moment at this point, the moment at this point will be 1 into x. Okay, so it is 1 into x. Okay, now even if I take at this section, it will be, if I take at this section, then this distance will be minus 1 into 6 plus x. Okay, and similarly if I take a section here, then it will be minus 10. Okay, or minus 1 into 10, so that becomes minus 10. So similarly, the third case will be when we apply a moment here, 1 kilonewton. So if I apply a moment 1 kilonewton here, then what will be my values? So that will be M3. Okay, so if I take a section here, then the value will be 1. Similarly, if I take a section here, the value I'll get is minus 1. If I take a section here, the value will be plus 1. And if I take a section here, and if I calculate the moment, the value will be again plus 1. Okay, so these are the relationship between M1, M2 and M3 for the segments DC, CE, EB and BA. Okay, so now we already know, so let me take that one. So now we already know the relation D minus DL equals to F into P, where the size of this matrix is 3 cross 1, the size of this matrix is 3 cross 1 again, this is 3 cross 3, this is 3 cross 1 again. Okay, so this, since there is no sinking of support and all those conditions are not given, or all those conditions are not there, so this will be 0. Now we have to determine D1L or DL F or the VA flexibility matrix and the load vector. Okay, a redundant force vector or load vector, whatever you may call, we have to determine that one. Okay, so now one thing is there that, see, in actual scenario here at this node, okay, at this node, since it is fixed, definitely we will be getting a vertical reaction, one horizontal reaction, and one moment will be definitely there. But since we have released the structure from here, or sorry, since we have released the support here, then this support is going to be displaced due to the applied loads and the unit loads. Okay, so let us say, this DL comprises of D1L. Yes, yes.
Sir, moment at M2 value at C is minus x or plus x, sir.
Minus
1 minus 1 into x or plus 1 into x are here. Moment at 2 at CE member.
Sorry. This is minus 1 into x. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this one, it is so this D1. Okay. So let us take this D1 individual. Let us take these individually. So sorry, D1L. So this D1L is horizontal displacement at D due to, it is horizontal displacement at D due to the applied loads, or you just take the horizontal displacement. Okay, so that will be given by, so this is according to the formula m into m1 into dx by ei. Okay, now I hope all of you have taken this table, because we are going to use this table to find out the value of D1L and everything else. Okay, so this is given as, so here, so m into m1, this is 0, so it is 0. If you multiply this, it will be 0. Again, if you multiply these two, it will be 0. So we have 20 into, so it is integration 20 0 to 20, sorry, not 0 to 20, wait, 20x into minus 4 divided by 3ei into dx. Integration, the integration is, the limit is again 0 to 4. So 0 to 4 plus integration 0 to 6. So it is 6x plus 80 into 4 minus x by 2ei. It is 2ei into dx. So please calculate how much is this one. So similarly, D12 D12 equals to vertical displacement. See, please calculate this value. I am going to ask this one. Vertical displacement at D. Okay, so that will be integration m into m2 into dx by pi. So this will become, so m is, again I need to make it small. Yes. Okay. So again m 0 into 0, it is 0. Then okay, wait, 0 into 0 into 0, it is 0. 0 into this one, it is 0. Then integration 20 or into this one. So this becomes, this is equal to, this is equal to 20 or integration 20x into minus 1 into 6 plus x whole divided by 3ei into dx, and the integration will be from 0 to 4 dx plus integration 0 to 6, then it is 6x plus 80 into, it is minus 10 divided by 2ei into dx. Okay, so similarly the next one will be d3l d3l equals to integration, or this will be the slope. Okay, or we may call it as the rotation at D. So this is equal to integration m into m3 dx by pi. Okay, so this will be again integration. Now m again, okay, I need to make it small. Okay, so m is 0 here. So it is 0, this is 0. So these two will be 0. So it is 20 into integration 0 to 4, 20x into minus 1 into 6, sorry, 20 into 1 divided by 2ei, sorry, not 2, it is 3ei into dx plus integration 0 to 6, then this is 6x plus 80 into 1 divided by 2ei into dx. So please tell me the values over here. What will be the values? So how much is d1l? What is the value of d1l?
80 by 3ei.
Come on,
80
come on.
ei
80?
by 3ei.
80 divided by 3ei. Then this one d2l equals to?
So minus 30620 divided by 9ei.
Minus 30620 divided by
9 EI.
9 EI. Okay. 9 EI. Now this one.
Still calculating.
Yes. Calculate. Use your calculator and find out.
Sir, 1042 divided by 3 EI.
1042
3 EI.
1042 divided by
3 EI.
43 EI.
No, sir. Only 3 EI.
1042 divided by 3 EI.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Okay.
Sir, I don't know exactly they are correct, sir, but I calculated in my cash flow. I got that value, sir.
You have used the calculator, right? The
Yeah,
integration.
use calculator only, but I don't know if they're exactly correct or not. You ask others, sir. Because if it is wrong, the whole problem will go wrong, sir.
Okay. Any other answers? Anyone getting any other answers? Any other answers? Anyone from?
Okay, sir. Correct answer.
These are correct. These values are correct.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So we have determined the displacement matrix. Okay. In the next class, we will determine the flexibility matrix, and so we will determine the flexibility matrix, and from there we will calculate the load vector. Okay. So this one we will continue in the next class, and in the next class, that is tomorrow. Tomorrow we will finish unit 3 and we will start unit 4 on the next day itself, or even tomorrow if possible we will start the fourth unit, that is the stiffness method. Okay, stiffness, these are the somewhat interrelated, and when we combine these two methods, or combinedly we call these methods as the matrix methods, because here we deal with the structure with the help of matrices. Okay, so in the next class we will complete this problem. This is a big one because we are going to deal with matrices of size 3 cross 1 and 3 cross 3. Okay, so I am stopping the recording here.